this is Rusty and welcome to Dad's Desk. For this tutorial we are going to create a project using radio buttons. Radio buttons are really neat because we can select one of them, usually with a radio button, especially when you have it assigned into a group box, and more about that in just a moment. Means you can only select one of the radio buttons. If you need to have something where they can select more than one, usually a checkbox is the way to go on that. For this particular one, I have a form named FRM main. It's been set to center screen and is my startup object, and then I created again this group box. The group box can be located in the all windows forms as one location. Then I just added that, gave it a name of GRP tools, so that when we run this project and they select one of these radio buttons, we will display the tool and its kind of little Latin name that I have created. Now within this group box, one of the nice advantages that we have in the later versions of Visual Basic is that when we add an object to a group box, if we want to move the group box around, the objects stay with it. That's a really great thing that they created and established at Microsoft several releases of Visual Basic earlier. Okay, so on the radio buttons, you can get those from the all Windows forms or the common controls. Either one. I just added mine in and then did a copy paste on the first one. This one is named RAD for radio, hammer, with an ampersand hammer, RAD pliers, and RAD saw. Now the images that we will be using, I have placed in my bin debug and in images folder. There you'll see they're all JPEG files with hammer, pliers, saw, and then the logo, which you see right there. So I also then created a picture box called PIC tool, and that will display this one. This just has for the default image the tools JPEG. They also have that little Latin name I talked about called LBL name. This was another label box where I just had the text called LBL Latin name with the word Latin. And then we have a clear button that's going to deselect all of these, return to my logo, and clear out the label box. Okay, so let's get started. We'll code the clear button first. As you can see, I've already added in my documentation, so we'll just say here with a single quote, resets the form, a little with me statement, and we'll say .rad hammer dot checked equals false, and .rad pliers dot checked equals false, .rad saw dot checked equals false. Here we go. And then we will also set the text property of LBL name back to nothing. So .lbl name dot text equals double quotes. And to return to the logo JPEG image that I have for the PIC tool or the picture box, we'll just say here .pic tool dot image. This is a really cool option that they have in some of the later releases now. Equals image dot from file. We're going to pull this from a file that is in my images folder that's within my bin debug folder. So I'll say open close parentheses, double quotes, images / logo.jpg, double quote close parentheses. Very, very good. That's going to clear the form and reset it. Now there will be a little bit of an issue when we run this. It's one that's existed for a number of releases. I think I'll show you the fix that I came up with. I think it's about the easiest anyway. So you may have another one, but this is the one that I use. So we'll go over here to the radio box for RAD hammer, or radio button I should say. Double click on that. We'll come down here and we will say displays the hammer image, there we go, and Latin name, the little Latin name that I came up with, just to have a little bit of fun, right? And I will say me.pic tool.image equals image dot from file parentheses double quotes images / and this is going to be the hammer, so hammer.jpg double quote close parentheses, and me.lbl name.text equals double quotes thumb oos ouch oos. There, my little Latin name, just to have a little bit of fun with this, right? Okay, let's go back and do the same thing for the pliers. Code that one. we could copy paste, but I'm just going to see if my typing works today. Displays the pliers image and Latin name. Remember, this is all documentation what's in green, so it's not actually executed by Visual Basic when we run the project. me.pictool.image equals image.fromFile, parentheses, double quotes, images, /pliers.jpg, double quote, close parentheses, and me.lblname.text equals, let's see, let's change thumb up here to hit oos thumb oos. I think that works a little bit better, especially for the one I'm about to use now. So I'll change that to hit oos thumb oos, and this is going to be equal to double quotes, pinch oos ouch oos. There, that kind of makes a little bit more sense. Let's put a capital O on that one also, just because I think it looks cool is the only reason, to be very honest. Okay, now we'll go up to our design, double click on saw, and displays the saw image and Latin name. Okay, so me.pictool.image equals image.fromFile, parentheses, double quotes, images, /saw.jpg, double quote, close parentheses, and me.lblname.text equals, double quotes, cut oos too short oos. Makes you think I have experience in that, doesn't it? Okay, very, very good. Now, again, this is going to cause a little bit of an issue, as you will see, because right now there's nothing in this label box, and the image is my little logo image. I'll click on Start, and you'll notice that when it runs, it by default says, oh, you didn't select one of these, so I'm going to select Hammer by default. And this is an issue. There may be an actual fix out there. I'm going to show you the one that I have used, and I think it works about the best. It did go when it selected this, it displayed the hammer and hit oos thumb oos. If I click on pliers, just to test it, pinch oos ouch oos and the pliers. If I click on the saw, it displays the saw and cut oos too short oos. Okay, very, very good. Now, if I click on clear, it does reset everything and pull that back. So how do I go about getting this to have this display when the project loads? My solution, close this and hide that one, is to just take the form itself. And when the project loads, I'm going to double click and I'm going to say resets the form and calls the clear button. Oops, let's spell button correctly. There we go. Okay, so here I'm just going to say, I'm not going to even bother with the with me statement, really. I'm going to say me.radsaw.checked, oops, equals true, set it to true, then set it to false. Me.radsaw.checked equals false. And then I'm going to call that clear button. So I'll just say me.btn clear, oops, I'm sorry, clear underscore click, parentheses, sender, send to, comma, e, send this event, how I refer to it, and that should reset the form when it loads. So it selects one, and bingo, we are back to square one, exactly what we would like. Very good. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial on how to use radio buttons. Thank you for watching.